Good morning. This is Kathleen Clow with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Sunday, July 12th, 2026. Today's fire potential headlines include continued near record heat today and tomorrow with breezy winds and a return of mixed wet and dry thunderstorms starting today, lasting through midweek, which will bring increased cloud cover and relative humidities across the region. A fuel and fire behavior advisory remains in effect for eastern Nevada, much of Utah, and the Arizona Strip. We expect fuels to continue to dry out over the next few days, especially up north, and we expect some IA and large fire potential with the return of lightning across the basin. Putting that to a map, today we expect near record temperatures across much of the Great Basin, as well as higher winds 20 to 35 miles per hour across western and central Nevada, as well as eastern central Idaho and western Wyoming, where we expect 35 to 45 mile per hour winds. Today, mixed and dry thunderstorms will make their way into the southern portion of Nevada and Utah, as well as the Arizona Strip. On Monday, that storm potential becomes more widespread across the southern half of the basin. Storms on the leading edge of the system will be dry and mixed, with mixed and wet storms to the south. Despite storm potential, we will still see those very hot and dry conditions tomorrow. By Tuesday, storm coverage across the basin will become much more widespread and more on the mixed and wet side, but still a potential for IA from lightning due to underlying fuel conditions. Again, today we have those heat advisories and extreme heat warnings in effect across large portions of the basin, as well as a red flag warning in eastern central Idaho. Over the past 24 hours, we received no precipitation across the basin and saw no lightning activity. Over the past 24 hours, the Great Basin had 13 new starts for a total of 420 acres and a large fire growth of 1,551 acres. We still remain at PL4 in Great Basin and PL4 nationally. Satellite loop from this morning shows cloudy conditions across much of western Nevada and central Idaho, with mostly clear skies over eastern Nevada and Utah. Smoke impacts for today and tomorrow include smoke drifting west and north across Utah from neighboring Colorado fires, as well as the Sookie and Babylon fires. Smoke from ongoing Northern California wildfires will drift north and east across western Nevada. Southern and central Idaho will see smoke impacts from ongoing fires in the state, as well as fires in Utah as that smoke drifts north. Current fire danger conditions include high ERC values across much of the basin, above the 97th percentile for portions of southern Nevada, as well as Utah and the Arizona Strip. ERC values remain on the rise across the northern half of the basin due to near record temperatures. Compared to yesterday's map, several PSAs across Idaho and Utah have moved up a category, and there is no orange left on the map. In the near term, we expect a fall in ERC conditions with this forecast precipitation potential coming this week. For today, we've issued high-risk triggers for wind across eastern central Idaho, and you can see this afternoon in that upper air map where we expect that storm potential and moisture air to start moving into the basin. Tomorrow, we've issued high-risk triggers for lightning across a large portion of Nevada and Utah, as well as the Arizona Strip. These triggers will move north and east on Tuesday as that system makes its way across the basin. That lightning risk will be followed by a change to lower little risk due to precipitation received from the system, and you can see that on Tuesday, especially with that green coming in after that. Across the next 3 days, we expect to see gusty winds from those storm outflows, and you can see those in purple across the maps. And then today, again, we expect to see those higher winds across eastern central Idaho. As far as relative humidities, will still remain drier today. We a little bit higher than the last few days. You can see some double digits on the map there on Sunday. And then those relative humidities will continue to rise as the storm system moves through. And you can see even some 20s and 30s on the map on Tuesday. For our precipitation totals, not a whole lot coming in today, but you can really see that precip start to come in Monday and especially on Tuesday with those higher totals across Nevada and the Arizona Strip. Temperature-wise, temperatures will be lower than they have been, but still hot today in the triple digits in some areas, and then still again in the high 90s across much of the basin for Monday and Tuesday. So even though we're getting this rain potential, we'll still see those hot temperatures. On Wednesday, you can see we still got that high risk sugar for lightning, but it's moved north and east to cover much of eastern central Idaho and western Wyoming. You can also see following that storm system, we've got low risk across much of the basin on Wednesday and Thursday, as well as some little or no risk in the southern areas. We're expecting that more monsoonal moisture. By Friday, we'll expect to see things starting to dry back out again, and you can see that return of brown in western Nevada. On Wednesday, we'll still expect to see some gusty outflows from storm activity and some higher winds across central Utah. And again, you can see that RH recovery across Wednesday through Friday in the double digits, teens, and even up into the 30s in those higher elevations. So overall, we'll see some higher RHs following this storm system. Precip totals for Wednesday through Friday, you can see the heavy precipitation across the Arizona Strip and that more monsoonal moisture. and then some lighter precip across widespread portions of Nevada there. And through Friday, we might even see a little bit more accumulation of precipitation, but overall, still less than a quarter of an inch for a lot of the areas. And you can see temperature-wise, we're still expecting to see hot temperatures. Some areas still seeing the triple digits and high 90s, but overall, a little bit more moderated compared to what we saw the last couple days. Again, just to summarize our 7-day potential outlook, today we've got that high risk trigger for wind across eastern central Idaho. And then tomorrow through Wednesday, you'll see that lightning trigger come in and move through the basin north and east, followed by some lower risk in those areas that receive precipitation, and then that drying out starting again Friday and Saturday. For the next 6 to 10 days, we expect to see above normal temperatures continuing across the basin, but then also that above normal chance for precipitation with this system coming through. That concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.